December 8th. It's the morning. We've got our weather window, and we are off now for False Bay, Simonstown, along with a lot of other boats, although we seem to be getting away a little earlier than most here. Yeah, more dolphins. There were some closer, but I don't see them anymore, and the ones out there look like they're headed this direction, but they don't seem to be getting any closer, but there's a lot of them. Well, the morning of December 9, we crossed paths with Peristera, who is continuing on to Cape Town while we are going to Simonstown. Well, the dolphins are back again this morning. Last night I had my first visitation at night by dolphins. I saw a luminous ball under the water splashing by the boat, and then later I saw other streams of luminescent trails that looked like torpedoes going by the boat, and it was dolphins. And they stayed with the boat for about an hour, a lot of them. And here again we have quite a few. And I see some more coming from in front of us. They're all gathering. The wind is not too strong right here, so you can see the sail's having a bit of a problem as we're motoring briskly towards Simonstown in order to get there before dark. Now here in the afternoon we're getting closer to the entrance to False Bay. You can see some of these little houses that are at the base of the mountain here. That I have no idea how high those mountains are. They could be 300 meters. I really have no idea. We got about 4 hours left to go. Well, they say in False Bay that the mountains that are on either side, and they're pretty impressive, cause the wind in here to sometimes be 10 to 15 knots higher than it is out in the ocean. And that seems to be the case today, because these winds aren't supposed to be more than about 15 knots, but in here it seems more like they're 20. And that hopefully won't cause us any problem when it comes to docking. At least we know where we're going. We know our slip is Z14, and I would like to back into that to keep my bow to the north, but we'll see. We'll see what can be done about that. We'll try that first anyway. Hopefully the wind isn't going to be too much of an issue. Well, because of the wind, we had to give up the idea of backing into slip, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. We came in nose first and had a little bit of help from our neighbor, and look who it is. Dortita was a boat that Carol and I saw and spoke to on the way to the Galapagos a few years ago at the beginning of this whole thing. So it's a small world. Matt and I are going to try to find a pub or something that's open in town. Well, with our slip assignment in hand for the Royal Cape Yacht Club and a good weather window for Thursday, it's only 50 something miles, about 50 miles, so really we don't need that wide a window. It's just a day sail around Cape Horn, Cape of Good Hope. I'm not the only one to be making that mistake. So I'll be leaving here on Thursday, and that's the day after tomorrow. So today I'm going to go out and take a look at this Maritime Museum or Naval Museum that they have here, and also just walk down the main street and show you what it's like. Many of these buildings on the main street here are very old. This one says established 1860. There's a number of other ones that have dates on them around 1900, 1901, and they all seem to be basically the same style, so I'm guessing that almost all of them are from the same period. Apparently the town is quite proud of the fact that Midshipman Horatio Nelson, being invalided back to England on the ship HMS Dolphin, stopped here in 1776 and probably came ashore. You hear that? The Navy is doing some firing at its weapons range not far away. We're actually behind the wall here, or you would hear the sound from out in the water much more clearly. Ask me how I know. From my position in the marina, it was very loud. That building at the center of the screen there is the Prince Alfred building, and it's actually shown as being built in 1802. That makes it quite a bit older than most of these other buildings. Prince Alfred would have been the same Prince Alfred, I'm sure, that lent his name to the Victoria and Alfred waterfront in Cape Town. He was I believe, the second son of Victoria and Albert. And in the background there you can see some of the spectacular scenery here on the peninsula. This morning the kind gentleman from the marina drove me 3 times out to this gas station so I could get diesel for the boat. It's a jerry jug situation here. But we're all filled up now. And this afternoon at from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, due to the drought, they are going to open up the water so we can take on water, fill our tanks as well. This scene just cries up for some three-masted full-rig ship. Now this is very cool. An air raid shelter from the Second World War. Lots of twists and turns. These are the kind of weapons I assume that they're firing out there. Although I heard heavy machine guns and what I would have described as a pom-pom gun, sometimes firing in groups of 3s and sometimes in groups of 5s. Anyway, this is the South African Naval Museum. Follow the yellow print road. A sucker for well-made models. Look at this. This is a plate damaged by shell fire in a gun battle with the German Commerce Raider Thor. This plate was from the Carnarvon Castle. They had the battle on, it was the 5th of December 1939, about 700 miles off Montevideo. Yes, a model of the HMS Victory, and that little plaque there is actually a piece of her keel. This is a model of a mooring lighter, used to lift and maintain and place moorings in the harbor. It's actually still in service apparently, which makes it the oldest non-passenger carrying vessel in the world still performing the function that was designed for. It was officially launched for service in 1902. A Scorpion surface-to-surface radar-guided missile. Oh, that's interesting. This building used to be a rigging house, and this is a called stump hauling out. So I guess this is like a strong point they would attach ropes to make spring or hurricane hawsers. And that's it, basically. Now we just go back to the entrance, which is also the exit. Well, I've gone up one level from the main street, up a staircase to the next street, just so you could take a look at the layout of the whole place.
Prince Diamond's up against the wall on the right hand side, the very back. It's a nice safe spot, but they say there occasionally you get some rolling. We haven't noticed anything. It's actually quite a nice day here. Well, you know, I just have to go up one more level, since here we have Victoria Lane written in, of course, Victoria Lawn in Afrikaans. These towers, there's another one right down near the, hidden by this building here, but down there behind that building, there's another one of those towers right down in the museum area in the Naval yard, and yeah, they look like they're some sort of a trolley system, but I don't know what they'd be used to transport. I'm standing on a concrete cantilevered structure, but I trust it a bit because it has steel underneath it, and I don't think it's going to collapse. Pretty spectacular scenery. Can't see anything, but it's loud. Now you gotta laugh when Ramona says to me on seeing photographs of the mountain, she says, "Are you gonna climb it?" Of course I wasn't gonna climb it, but here I am up ahead seeing something called the Claver Steps. Looks like there might be a letter missing. The Signal School Steps, it says on the sign. Ah, well, you just know I have to climb that. It's written somewhere. Historic footpath to just Nuisance's grave. Table Mountain National Park. Wow. Historic footpath to Nuisance's, just Nuisance's grave. Well, those horrible staircases have given way to a climbing path, which is a little easier to take. We're very close to the top now. There's no doubt in my mind that this goes right to the top, which is great. I'm very glad I came up here. I have no idea how tall this is. Well, this is certainly an unexpected sight up here. across there. I don't know what this is. Well, hi. What is this place?
This is called living quarters.
Living quarters for who?
Us.
And who are you guys?
Soldiers.
Oh.
Navy.
Oh, is this like a Navy base up here?
Yeah, the Navy base. That's why this area is restricted.
Oh, you know the water's down there, right?
Your area is this side of the building.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
A naval base on top of the mountain. Well, who would have expected it? And as I came walking in through that fenceway there, I had noticed this grave here beside the road. Great Dane, just a nuisance, able seaman, Royal Navy on the HMS Africander, 1940 to 44, died April 1st, 1944, age 7 years. Well, that doesn't make much sense. I'm going to have to look that up and find out what that story is all about. The grave was furnished by the HMS Ganges Association, Simonstown Division. Huh. I hear voices again. There's a fellow talking on his phone. My battery's empty. Last chance for a little shot here. And then that'll be it. Heading back down to the boat. Well, today is December 12th. It's our last full day here in Simonstown. We're going to be moving on to Cape Town very early tomorrow morning, just around dawn. And I'm off to see the next, or the last big thing I want to see here, the penguins. I'm on the way to see penguins. While on the way over to Boulder Beach to see the penguins, I came across this World War II era gun battery, which has been changed into a place of remembrance. Over here on the other side of the fence is part of the property of the Institute for Maritime Medicine. Yeah, very cool. Well, onward. This place kind of reminds me of the baths on Virgin Gorda. Well, it's 152 or 157 Rand to get in here. I can't remember now. Well, now it's become kind of a quest to get through here. I've got my shoes off and around my neck. And we'll see if we can get from one end of this beach to the other. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the baths. The rocks are just a little bit smaller. And so there aren't that many places to go under. You have to go over most of them. Now I see why they have high and low tides listed. These little guys are everywhere. And he's got his eyes closing. He's very tired out.
God, I think you can.
Hú, az milyen kis vicces.
Nem az, nem volt bőle.
Tényleg. Mit nem dobottam?
Ezt nézd, ne, ezt nézd.